The Seattle Seahawks head to Atlanta tomorrow. I think it's going to be an amazing ball game in what I am calling the best weekend in all the sports. Atlanta favored by 5 in this one. Todd Fuhrman, take your pick.
Seattle has been here, done that. 5th straight season they'll be playing in the divisional round of the playoffs, and it's a credit to what Pete Carroll has built in the Pacific Northwest. But bettors not swayed by that pedigree, Adam. This number opened 3.5, and you saw professional money come in on the Falcons. We know about Matt Ryan and his playoff shortcomings. We know about this Atlanta defense that's 19th in overall efficiency. But I don't think people realize how balanced Kyle Shanahan has created an offense there with Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman out of the backfield. A 3-headed receiving monster with Taylor Gabriel able to take the lid off of defenses. Julio Jones, we know what he's capable of, and Mohamed Sanu working underneath. I think Vic Beasley will get to Russell Wilson. Russ is going to need to use those legs to escape the pocket, and Atlanta won't fall victim to a steady dose of Thomas Rawls. I think Seattle's win last weekend against Detroit, a little bit fraudulent in the final score. I like the Falcons to win and cover at home, sending them to the NFC Championship.
I'm with you, Todd Fuhrman. If you've taught me anything, you follow that professional money. And look, simply put, I think Atlanta's a juggernaut. I think the offense is great. I'm not worried about what we had on the screen before in terms of Matt Ryan, and the struggles happen. I mean, can't take that off his resume, but that's in the past. In the present, the guy is likely going to win MVP. I voted for him for Offensive Player of the Year. Talked to Cliff Averill on our SiriusXM radio show, said he's throwing the heck out of the ball. You look at that offensive line, it's improved. They're going to run the ball effectively. Kyle Shanahan is incredible. And the other side of it, I just don't think the Seahawks are that good. I give them credit for winning the division, credit for all the wins this year, but it's not your older brothers, Seattle Seahawks, if you will. 30-20. Give me the Atlanta Falcons because they're the better team to win and cover. The New England Patriots, 15-point favorites against Brock Osweiler and the Houston Texans tomorrow night in Foxborough on CBS. Take your pick.
Adam, this is the largest number we've seen in the divisional round of the playoffs since 1998-99, where the Minnesota Vikings, as 16.5-point chalk, took on the Arizona Cardinals. They won that game 41-21. You have to go back to 94-95, the last time we saw a 17-point favorite, and the 49ers absolutely embarrassed the Bears to the tune of 44-15. I love to make a case for an underdog, especially one catching double digits with a defense that is not quite elite, but clearly in the league's top 5. Houston won't be caught off guard against this Patriots team like they were that fateful Thursday night when Jacoby Brissett led New England to a 27-0 victory. All that being said, I don't trust Brock Osweiler. I don't think Lamar Miller can find enough space to run the football to shorten this game a little bit. New England's defense isn't good, but they're average, and you only have to be average to make Brock Osweiler look pretty pedestrian at the quarterback position. Tom Brady and company win comfortably in a game that I think is lower scoring than the total indicates, but a game New England covers somewhere in the ballpark of 30-10.
Yeah, I'm with you here. We're sharing a brain on this one, Todd. And listen, I'm not going to hit you with Brock puns because we used 14 Brock puns earlier in the show in the same topic, and it was real and spectacular. It was Brock and roll in terms of TV. Now, with that said, listen, I'm with you on the Patriots defense. Quietly, it's been one of the better defenses in the NFL all year long. It's Tom Brady. It's Bill Belichick. LeGarrette Blount's going to be a factor. Clowney's amazing. You know what? Dante Scarnecchia has done a great job of that offensive line all year long. Tom Brady, CBS, first playoff game since the Deflategate suspension. You think he's going to want to pour on the points? This game has 35-13 written all over it. The Steelers headed to Arrowhead on Sunday. Kansas City favored by 1.5. Todd Fuhrman, take your pick.
Hardest game of the divisional round for me to try and handicap, Adam, especially when you factor in forecasts that don't look all that favorable for high-flying football. One team has the better coach, that's the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid, extra time to prepare, whether it's playoffs or regular season. This guy just flat out wins football games. The other side, the Pittsburgh Steelers, better personnel when you look at Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and a defense that's been on the uptick amid this winning streak. Arrowhead, one of the more difficult places to go and play, especially with this much on the line in January. But recent history hasn't been kind to the Chiefs, and this number has kind of gone all over the place around Big Ben's ankle injury. Kansas City, 2-point favorite. Pittsburgh, a 1.5-point favorite. Kansas City got as high as 3 before there was some money that came in on the Steelers. I'm going to back the better quarterback with his healthy triplets. Le'Veon Bell runs for 100 yards. And I do it with kind of one eye open, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers go into Arrowhead and set up the showdown we all want to see against the New England Patriots.
Todd, it's another game where we totally agree, and I hate picking against the Chiefs. I hate picking against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. You nailed it. Andy Reid's a better coach than Mike Tomlin. I think Alex Smith actually has some great matchups in this one, and frankly, I trust him. Weather's a factor that scares me, but here's what it comes down to. Le'Veon Bell. No Derek Johnson on defense, Le'Veon Bell. He's been one of the best players in the NFL in the second half of the season. Love Roethlisberger in crunch time in the playoffs. I think Brown's going to be a big factor. Epic game, close game, 24-23. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. The Green Bay Packers, 4.5-point underdogs, as they head to Big D to face the Cowboys on Sunday afternoon. Todd Fuhrman, take your pick.
What a matchup of two blue blood franchises playing with a very different outlook on life. Dallas didn't show any desperation late in the season. They were comfortably into the playoffs as the #1 seed. Green Bay's been on playoff mode for what feels like 7 weeks now, led by Aaron Rodgers. What's great about this game, Adam, people want to talk about Aaron Rodgers playing on another level, and anyone who watches football would be foolish to argue that. But last I checked, Aaron Rodgers plays one position, that's quarterback. He doesn't play all 22 positions on the offense and defense. And when I look at this Dallas Cowboys team, the one unit that I know is a constant is their offensive line. We saw a meeting between these two teams earlier this season, and Dallas ran the football at will against Green Bay's defensive front. And while it scares me because I think that back door could be open for Aaron Rodgers to come through covering late, I just think that Rodgers has to be on that high level. If he's merely average, Green Bay gets blown out. I think Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, they shake some of that rookie stigma off their back. It's the Dallas Cowboys winning by more than a touchdown. I'll gladly lay the points here.
All right, we have a disagreement, and don't misinterpret. I think Dallas is going to win the game. I'm going to grab Green Bay with the points. And we started the show talking about the impact of the Jordy Nelson injury. You knew he wasn't going to play this week, okay? But it's Aaron Rodgers. So you're right. Dallas has great matchups. We documented that earlier in the show. Dak and Zeke and anybody who says, oh, they're rookies, they're not going to get that done. Please, these guys are absolutely special. They're going to dominate. There's no question about that. We talked about Dez earlier in the show. He's the literal X factor. Throw up the X twice in this game. 2 touchdowns for Dez Bryant, but it's Aaron Rodgers. I think this game's going to be a classic. I think it's a game we're going to be talking about Todd Fuhrman for a long time. I think Rodgers and Randall Cobb, they've got the rapport. Same with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, iconic and dreamy. Dallas will win 35-34. Give me Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers with the points.